Well, this just went from simple and fairly time-consuming to complicated. We ain't got no heat in this 67 C10. It's not that big of a deal down here in the heart of Texas. The winters don't get that cold. But the little ones and the family, you're not going to ride in your hot rod or your old truck if you don't have heat. So the guy's got to break down and fix it, I guess. The challenge is Freeman's garage is currently on the slippery slope of pack rat territory, so if we're going to get the 67 C10 in here, we need about close to 80 inches, right? So we got to get some of the small stuff pushed out, get the 62 Rambler pushed over up against the 56 Chevy. And a little bit of a binderino. We got to cannibalize the battery out of the truck that we need to drive in here so that we can winch the Rambler forward. We'll yank that battery and hook it up to our winch that we mounted to the garage floor. And our chain is still hooked up on the front of the Rambler from when we winched her off in a video right here on Freeman's garage. In is out with this winch, and out is in. Is that kind of like in through the outdoor? How much you want to bet there's a tool or something trapped down in here that's going to require us to undo all of this just to get to it? I'll say it a million times and I'll keep saying it. A set of car dollies like the ones that the Rambler's sitting on here, worth their weight in gold. Makes the impossible possible. Thank you, Craftsman. Appreciate that. Thank you, Winch. Thank you, Everstart. Alright, we'll put this back in the truck, and if you're still with me, we'll bring her on in and get started on this little heater project. Don't hit the Harley! I told you this would happen. I'm trying to jingle these hooks off of this overhead door so that we can hang our last non-broken garage light up under the hood. I was doing this to this one here when it was still hanging up there, and the little hook that was on it, just like this, flew off and landed down there. So we gotta get down in here to get it, because it's somewhere down in there. We could crawl under here. We'll just pop the fender off and hopefully we can find it quickly. I'm not mad. Waste some time, but it's frustrating, but I find it hilarious actually. Oh, it's right here too. That didn't take long to find. quick release fenders for the Bonneville salt flats. We'll put the end with the cord over on the driver's side because our blower motor and heater box is over here on the passenger side. So that way we can keep the cord out of our way. Oh, we're gonna have to shorten this up. This is not a how-to video, but if you are trying to figure out a similar issue on your own rig, or you're just curious, it helps to know how this stuff actually works. The heat that you're getting in the cab comes from the hot coolant in the cooling system. So in a very small nutshell, in this case, the cooling system is the water jackets inside the engine block and the cylinder head and the radiator. And then they are connected by an upper and lower radiator hose, and then the water pump moves all that water and circulates it around. That coolant is pulling heat out of the engine block and cylinder head so that we don't have a meltdown, but in turn, that coolant gets hot itself. That hot coolant is not only circulating through the engine and the radiator, it's also getting shot up through this mini radiator, the heater core, and getting circulated through there. Since that hot coolant is circulating through the heater core inside the heater box, it gets really hot in there. That box is full of hot air. That's why we have an electric fan, a blower motor, mounted in this box, because it pulls all that hot air and pushes it into the cab. All that hot air goes into another heater box under the dash, and then on your dash you've got your levers and everything that control the fan speed, and if it's going up top, is it going to blow down to your feet? Thinking maybe I should have moved the Harley out of here too. Clutch in, here we go. I got out, didn't I? I think we can get back in. And this door, I thought we fixed that. We're on the passenger side in the cab. There's the heater box under the dash, and there's little flapper doors inside there. And there's some cables that open and close them. There is a resistor way up on top there to help control heat. And then you've got your levers here on the dash. This is the defrost lever, so you get to choose between shooting the air down at your toes or shooting it up at the windshield. And you only get to do one at a time, so you either see where you're going and have frostbite toes, or you have warm toes, but you eat the back end of a Winnebago. This lever here in the middle, where it says air fan, this is connected to your fan switch, which is hidden back here, which controls your speed of the fan, how much air you're blowing out. It should click into position. It kind of is, not really. It could be part of our problem, but that switch in there is connected to the resistor that I mentioned that's on top of the heater box. This time you get 3 options. You get low, which is gentle breeze. You get medium, which is getting a little bit windy now. You get high, which is hold on to your fedora. Now the heat lever. This really controls how hot it's going to get in the cab. You can slide her over a little bit and just take the edge off, or you could slide her over a little bit more and take the jacket off, or you could slide her over all the way and melt your face off. Just a quick little side note, in case you really actually are trying to figure this out in your rig. I'll assume you don't have an AC truck. That resistor that's on top of the heater box under the dash, that just controls the fan speed. Your fan switch on the dash sends the power to the blower motor, but that resistor is wired in there in series to make the fan run slower when you have the fan switch set to medium or low. So the blower motor can work without the resistor or bad resistor it'll just run on high. Alright, let's start troubleshooting. I'm going to grab a test light and we'll start at the fuse box because there's an actual glass fuse labeled heater. So we'll want to start there and make sure we got a good fuse and we got power coming through. Oh, one more thing I want to add on about the blower motor. You might want to check and see if you've got a high output blower motor, 16.5 amp, because if you're running one of those, you're going to want to wire a relay in with your switch, or the switch will burn out. Oh, actually, one more thing. I wanted to demonstrate how these levers are kind of sticky, and we're probably going to have to lube up the cables. Really? Well, that's nice. Let's get this CB out of the way. I guess we got a CB upgrade video series coming up or something. I do need to do a little bit of surgery on this girl. Oh boy. Okay. Things are falling apart now. Never mind. Let's get down there and look. I hope you appreciate this camera shot. Pretty sure I ripped my hip right off of my body. Ow! Actually, I don't think I have a rib cage anymore. Yep, that hurt. Oh. Alright, now we got some more room over here on the driver's side, so now we don't have to do the rib stretch-o-matic anymore. This looks like a perfect spot for a ground. Usually is. So no power on either side of the fuse. Let's turn the key on. Huh, nothing. That's strange. It's not good. I hope the bulb in my probably 50-year-old Mac test light isn't burnt out. I'll grab a different test light and we'll see what happens. This one looks like it's got a good bulb in it. We'll use that same ground. I turned the key back off just for fun, just to see. And we're getting nothing. Power's on. Nothing. Huh. Really? Not getting power to anything. What in the world? Not getting power to anything. That's the fuse box. Okay, well, this test light obviously needs its bulb replaced. Let's grab this one here. So it's the second one that we grabbed. Oh, come on, clip on there. If I had two hands, I wouldn't need to clip you on. I could just hold you there. Okay, so how the heck are we getting nothing at the fuse box? But I clicked the radio on and that worked. Lights are on the dash. We have ignition. What in the world? Well, it must be the ground then. And I couldn't tell you why the clutch pedal would not be a satisfactory ground. Seems kind of strange, but you never know. Try the shifter lever. Oh, there we go. We got it. So with the key off, no power to the heater fuse. And with the key on, we got power. Now that we know we got power to the fuse over there, the guy's thinking he should get back behind here and see if we're getting power to the switch. What's going on with these wires hanging down? Well, that's for the cigar lighter. We'll have to wire that up one day. Just, you know, just so that everything works. And, oh, that's for the speaker. That is not in the dash anymore. It's in the glove box. It's blown. We need to do a stereo upgrade on Freeman's garage here in this truck. That'll come sometime in the future. And then this looks like a ground. Oh, if I pull on it. I was going to say a ground would probably be a good reason why our heater's not working, but I'm pulling on it and watching the cassette deck jiggle. Not sure what that ground is for because the radio works just fine, as you can hear. Okay, so now that we're in here, that right there, that's the switch. Here's where the power comes in and out to the blower motor. These brown wires are most important one here. Let's pop this off and see if we're getting any power. Okay, that's corroded. We're going to need to hit these up with some sandpaper. So let's see if we got any power making its way to the switch. That brown wire again, that's where it's coming in. So I'm not going to expect anything in any of these, but we should here. And we don't, but the key is off. Let's turn the key back on. Again, nothing, nothing, nothing. And then we got power there. So that's good. What's going on with the switch? This rusty terminal right there, that's where the power comes into the switch, and then those other three is for low, medium, and high. And there's an arm in here, a lever, goes in there. You can see it comes in here and then connects to the lever that you slide back and forth with your hand. It's possible the little hard plastic bushing is worn out, but let's see if things even move properly. Slide it all the way back and then slide it through low, medium, high. Something's not right here. I'm going to pop those two screws out real quick so we can remove the switch. So I'll grab, well, it's got to be a 1/4 inch. So here's the switch out of its home, and it's supposed to click through the different speeds. Right now it's off. That's low, medium, and high. But it wasn't doing that. We weren't hearing the click. And there's that little bushing, which I guess looks okay. Maybe just the switch is stiff. I got an idea. Let's clean these terminals up. Just like this with a bit of sandpaper. And then we'll plug it into our power source that we know we have power coming to. So we know we'll have it coming into the switch, and then we'll manually move it through the speeds and see if anything happens. Almost lost this little bushing. We don't want to do that. Okay. We know it's in the off position. Let's plug it in. Actually, let's double check with the key on that we still have power. Okay, we do. So now, let's plug her on in. Okay, now let's click it to low. Nothing. Ooh, we got medium. And we got high. That's beautiful. Check out the leaf blowage. Hold on here. Oh, it just quit. Something is... Do we have a loose wire? Well, do we have power at the switch still? We do. Well, then what's going on? Sure seemed like we lost power, didn't it? Let's go to low, medium, high. Well, what happened? Now we don't have power. Okay. Well, this just went from simple and fairly time-consuming to complicated and extremely time-consuming. I've got a human that I have to keep alive, so this is going to have to be a two-parter, but you're not going to have to wait a week. Subscribe and come back tomorrow, or don't subscribe, whatever. Just subscribing helps this guy, but just make sure you just come back. We're going to finish this tomorrow. But in the meantime, I'll send you to the C10 video that just popped up on your screen.